Don't judge situations. Let me give you another analogy. Imagine you're starting school, starting a brand new school, and there's 2,000 children in this school. And it comes to the last day of term, the final day of term, and there's a fight. There's a big fight in the school, in the playground. Everyone's like, trying to find what's going on, and there's 3 kids fighting. Blows back and forth, they're fighting, and you're thinking, my God, what's happening here? You run to the aid of the victim because that's what you should do as a good person. Someone is suffering, somebody's got hurt. 3 children out of 2,000 in this school system. Do you blame the whole school? There's 3 children who decide to have a bit of a skirmish outside. You can't blame the entire school for that. And you sit there and you think, wow, this bully must be really bad. The guy who's done the things must be really bad. Now, what you don't see is that you've only entered the school that term. You don't know that those kids have known each other for 4 years before you. And they've been having this ding-dong in the playground for so much time. But what you've seen is one punch. And you think the bad guy is the guy who's knocked the one over on the floor. But really, that wasn't the bad guy. He was standing up, finally, after years of being bullied, and saying, I'm not having this anymore, bad. And you've walked in at that moment. You see? Non-judgment. You've walked in, you've watched one punch in a boxing match, and you've decided what happened. But you've seen one punch in a boxing match, because that's what you've walked into. What you should do then is what all good people do, is they go and see the school. They talk to the duty head, they talk to the playground assistant, they talk to the teachers, and they say, we need to stop this. We know it's not the entire school, it's not all the children, it's not because that guy was black and that guy was white that this happened. It's a problem it's a problem with those individuals. But I don't know their history, yeah? But can you please do something to help them, to fix it? No, we're saying this example, the school is God. God says, yeah, okay, you know what, let's try to come down and give these people a bit more wisdom. We know their history, I'll talk to them, I'll deal with them. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for not making a judgment, by the way, as well, and piling in there. Right? Thanks for that. Karma is the playground, guys. Karma is the playground. It will always fix things up. It will always sort things out. And sometimes you have to let karma get on with it, because karma is going to do what it needs to do. But when you watch it, you watch one incident, one thing happens in the world, one thing's happened in one person's life, and you make a call. You don't know the picture, so you get all emotional about it. You go and run to the aid of the victim, which you should do, because compassion is just as important as wisdom. But don't make a judgment on the whole thing without knowing the whole picture, which we can't know. The only one who knows the picture is the school, is the head, is the deputies, the ones who have seen everything. They know in this particular moment, actually, what happened there was we tried to talk to that guy about not picking on kids throughout the years, but they kept on doing it, and this happened to them because they're not listening. But we will go and talk to them, and we will help to make things better. But this is how it happens in our world. Or in your lives, your job is nothing to do with judgment. Your job is not to pick people apart and say, you should go to hell and you should go to heaven. Your job is compassion. Your job, the only job you have is love. Then you should remember, you don't make judgments. Don't think that you know what is happening. Pray for people, help society to be better by improving the structure of our world, by teaching good things, by being a good person, but don't get into emotional judgment and condemning a race, or condemning a person, or condemning a group, because you don't know enough about the history of the whole thing. And that's why when situations happen, like we've seen recently on television, all these things, you see how people come together. And you've seen, like the concert that girl done, Ariana Grande done. You know, these are terrible moments. They're dark, dark times. And we don't know. None of us can claim to know why. We can't claim to know why it had to happen. I mean, it had to happen because it happened. But we don't know why. We're all just as puzzled as each other. But what we do know is love heals. And that's why I said, the universe is built of truth and built of love. Now, where you don't know the full truth, we don't understand everything. We don't understand historic karma, we don't understand country karma, we don't understand racial karma, we don't understand personal karma, we don't understand all the interactions of karma that happen between sociological groups, religious groups, personal groups, country groups, energy groups, climate groups, all these interactions that have to play themselves out. We don't know them all, and we can discuss them, but we won't know. What we do know is love heals. Compassion heals. And that is why The darkest moments will draw the brightest lights out of all of us. Sometimes it takes darkness to show light. And if we are not showing enough light, then sometimes through the course of our universe, sometimes when darkness descends upon us because of a karmic reason, not because of a personal vendetta by the universe, it does in effect draw out the best of people. And we saw that in Manchester, and we see it all over the world, but we do see finally compassion. And compassion is the most important thing. So if you're going to get fixated on anything when things go wrong, it should be compassion. It shouldn't be blame. It shouldn't be blame. We should never blame. Blame is the weakest and easiest way of dealing with everything, is blame. Anger is natural because when things are sad and difficult, of course, but you resolve that with that anger and that frustration, that it's all energy. Put it towards good action. It's energy. Put it towards good action. If you let your anger drive you to good action, to stop ever happening again, type of thing. And yeah, I don't want to get into the politics of everything, but there is a lot of political stuff that goes on that innocent people get caught up in because of politics and religion, and actually powers that man has distorted and twisted around, and interpretations of things that are not supposed to be one way or the other. Man has a bit of a messy head when it comes to this area. Politics, money, sociologically, climates, religion. These things are not normally bad at their core, they don't tend to last that long. But man can be quite egotistical about how they do things. So then when man is being egotistical about how they're playing with all these various different parts of our consciousness, of course the law of karma has to eventually come back and say, right, we need to balance this out again. We need to straighten these invasions and some things need to be straightened out. We don't know why. All we do is trust that the school is not bad. This is what I'm saying to you now. Before you attended that school, Mehul, you know the school I'm talking about in the analogy, before you attended it, you chose it because it was a good school. You didn't judge the whole school on the 3 pupils, right? So you must retain faith in the school, that the decisions that are made by the school and by the law of the playground are correct. That whatever has played itself out, for whatever reason, there must be some thinking behind it. Because in a universe where the stars don't crash into the earth every 15 minutes, where flowers can grow out of nothing, in cracks in the pavement, in a universe where every zebra is born with beautiful stripes and the giraffes with patches, why are not zebras born suddenly with patches? As Yogananda said, why do we walk on the grass and the grass doesn't walk on us? Why is the universe so perfectly organized? In a perfectly organized universe, how can there be these moments of complete madness? Either the universe is mad or it's intelligent. Make up your mind. If the universe is intelligent, then there must be intelligence behind everything that is happening. It can't just suddenly have moments of blackouts of intelligence and just indiscriminately, right, we're going to give this person cancer and this person doesn't be born with a limb and these 15 people die here, all indiscriminate. We've got a God that just wakes up one morning and depending on his mood just points his finger and says, right, you're going to die today. It's not how it works. If the universe is intelligent, it's intelligent throughout you. And karma will teach you, and the law of yoga will teach you that you are watching one section of a very, very, very big movie. Don't think you're bigger than you are and that you know everything now, because you don't know everything now. You can know everything, but you don't know it all now. If you want, by the way, to know everything and the reason behind every single karmic interaction on this planet, you know what you should do? Exactly what you're doing now. Study yoga. Because it's through meditation and through yoga that you will get to omniscience, omnipresence and omnipotence, where you can become one with the mind of the Creator and understand everything that happened. Then you'll know why everything happened, guys. Until then, you're guessing and stabbing in the dark and making erroneous judgments, and that's to your error, and it will only make you sad. Forget trust. Have faith in the system, learn about it, and then make your decision. Once you've learned the system of yoga properly, and you know the scriptures, and you know the science, and then you can come to me and tell me it's wrong, and show me where, I will have that discussion about that. But until you've studied all that there is to know, how can you say the subject of physics is wrong, the subject of biology is wrong, the subject of math is not full and finished, until you've learned it all? So learn what is there to know. And then you can decide, oh, the world is wrong, I'd do it better if I was here. Go ahead, good luck. You try and organize 7.8 billion people and all the stuff that has to happen here and do a better job. And by the way, if there's one nutter in 3 years, how many good people are there? We live in an amazing society that will get one nutter every now and then, and so many people can chance to have be nutters and don't. How many people live in this country, in the UK? If there's 60 million people, 65 million people here, and there's 3 nut jobs, we've done all right. In any other statistical survey you've done, you'd come up with the same conclusion. It's largely the majority of good, largely. So it's time also to be positive. And it shows more about you than the situation that you're a negative person if your focus of attention is on giving concentration to the wrong people.